Probably the biggest strategy that anybody could start with is just playing with the incentive curve itself. And so when I talk about incentive curve, what that really is if you think about a graph, if you were graphing out the relationship between the payout of an incentive and the performance that's required to get that payout, and you think of a line that kind of graphs that relationship of those two variables, that's the payout curve. So normally if you have a target and as you achieve a level of performance, let's say it's maybe earnings growth is the metric. If you have an earnings growth performance above target, the curve slopes up and you get larger payouts above target, and then the curve also slopes down. And if you achieve an earnings level below what you were targeting, you get a lower payout. The one thing you can always think about is flattening that curve when there's uncertainty. And when you flatten that curve, what you're doing is you're changing that relationship between pay and performance to say it's going to take a greater level of performance change to equal a certain level of payout. So that we're going to have to overachieve by more in order to get the same level of payout, or we're going to have to underachieve and miss the target by a greater level to get the same lower payout. And what that does is it just mitigates some of that variability, because in an uncertain year, you're saying, we just really don't know. We're not quite sure what the right target is. So rather than have a lot of variability and say, if we get something different than what we're targeting for performance, we want it to result in a very dramatic different payout. If you flatten that curve, you can reduce that, both on the upside and downside. So it has less upside opportunity for the same level, but it also has less downside.